The all-American half pound, 2 pure beef patties, lettuce, tomato.
Singles going steady.
This is Singles Going Steady, the podcast dedicated to exploring great singles with a particular eye to the punk, new wave, and DIY eras of the last century. I'm Adrienne Meddock.
And I'm Steve McGowan. We are in a band, the Beef People. We released a single in 1986 on our own label, Zub Records. But we are record collectors, and we're passionate about the single recording. Exploring the mystery of what makes for a great single is what propelled us to begin this podcast.
This is episode
020. And we are going steady today with a very unique, very wonderful band from San Pedro, California, the Minutemen. And we're going to be listening to some tracks from their EP from 1980 called Paranoid Time. This is a band that is really unlike any other. 3-piece, D. Boone, Mike Watt, and George Hurley. They were kind of the runts of the SST label litter. Everybody liked them, and they wanted to record them. This is their first recording. They were going to come in and do a single, but as their name suggests, all their songs are about a minute long. Some of them are considerably less than a minute long, and they figured out if they did it right, they could get 7 songs onto one single, and it's not hardly even 3 minutes worth of music. Well, it's not 7 minutes worth of music. I mean,
Why dawdle? If you can get it said in 35 seconds,
right.
Just say it.
The title of their documentary, which I'm going to talk about later, is called We Jam Econo, and they were definitely jamming Econo on this record. What do you want to say about the Minutemen before we start listening to them?
Just in listening to them again, I was just struck at the musicianship.
Yes.
It's hard to say it, but
I know.
But they do it, and in such an explosive and tight way. So it's like a controlled demolition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're super tight.
And start and stop on a dime. It's not just noise buzzsaw as we heard with Black Flag,
right.
In an earlier ep.
A lot more subtlety here.
Absolutely.
Okay. And
really lead bass.
Yes, a lot of lead bass. Mike Watt is well known as being the master of the bass guitar now. There's a lot of songs. There's 7 songs on Paranoid Time. Again, most of them are under a minute long. So we're going to listen to the first song. It's called Validation. We'll play a little bit of the song right now. Minutemen from Paranoid Time, Validation.
Still the kid what you see. Her slimes this time. Back there, heads worth the other, shorts worth the other. A conversation, a contradiction. When you make this sense, you got no position. And what you need is a validation. Go ahead, get on my permission.
So the Minutemen of Validation, Adrienne and I were talking about, this is a band that has definitely got a political bent.
And you look at the cover art, and
Yes.
it's like Maoist.
Yes, very much so.
Maoist film crew taking pictures of what is it? Filming a
cowboy and cowgirl.
A displeased cowgirl,
Yes.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. It's being groped, actually.
Yeah,
And,
well,
there's kind of faux Chinese font, and they definitely had a left-wing political bent. This particular song seems a little bit more about just thinking for yourself, getting validation. Again, super tight.
Or giving validation.
Yeah,
You've got my permission.
Right.
You need me to punch your card.
Right. And we were both of us were like, wow, this band is just, turning it on the dime here. Really, really something. So the second song we're going to listen to is a little bit more political, and it's kind of funny how their stuff is starting to...
personal is political, though, right?
Yeah. It's funny how some of this stuff is starting to become all prescient again. The next song we're going to play is called Fascist. Don't preach your structure of society with your perverted ideas of reality. This is the first line. Here we go. Fascist, Minutemen.
Your structure of society, perverted ideas of reality. Them words like freedom in common cause. Them words like hate, war, and all is lost. I can't follow a man on a white horse. Dreams of control, they all look to course. Tyranny is the real word. Voices and opinions are never heard. We all work in the working mass. We all work for the ruling class. State relies on the working man. If there's a party in the fatherland, they all kneel to the party elite.
Okay, well, there's the Minutemen again. Just cranking it out. D. Boone, amazing singer, amazing guitar player. He and Mike Watt arguing over the lyrics all the time, arguing over everything, arguing over Blue Oyster Cult, and they just, there's a lot of tension in the band and a lot of action reaction. This is a very impressive band. They put out a number of EPs, and they ended up with when they found out Husker Du did the double Zen Arcade, they had to do their own double record, double Nickels on the Dime, which we'll probably talk about some of the songs in it later. Amazing output, lots of good songs.
For a short-lived band in particular.
I know. And we were talking about where we were when we heard that Dennis Boone had passed. We were doing a show. I think we were promoting a show.
Yeah, we used to do get bands as they came through Greenville between North Carolina and Georgia. Have them stop in, cook them food.
Right.
And we heard from one of the I don't know if we had an SST group because we booked several.
Yeah, we booked a lot of them.
And I can't remember who told us, but
somebody in one of the bands said, "Did you hear about?"
Yeah, because these are the days before the internet,
right.
So it was. You found out by letter or by telephone call, and I think that they had been in touch with someone. Yeah.
The band was coming back from a tour, and somebody fell asleep in the van, and it rolled, and Boone fell out, and he was killed in the crash. It was really a tragedy because they were really just approaching their peak of their powers. But they left us a number of great recordings. We had talked about in an earlier podcast the SST label from Southern California and Greg Ginn's label from Black Flag, and the first record was 001 Nervous Breakdown. This Paranoid Time is actually 002 on the SST label, so they got a couple of home runs right on the first at bats.
I can't promise the next one will be 003. But
no, it won't, but this is a great little EP. There's a lot going on here. It's something you should definitely check out. We're going to close it out here and listen to the kind of the theme on the EP, Paranoid Chant, thinking about Russia, thinking about World War III. It was meant a lot in 1980. I think it means a lot now. So we're going to listen to the Minutemen, Paranoid Chant from Paranoid Time right now.
Thinking of World War III. I'm trying to talk to girls and I keep thinking of World War III. That goddamn 6 o'clock news make sure I keep thinking of World War III. I got a mile of numbers and a ton of stats. Of warheads, a billion Chinese of warheads. I don't even worry about crime
All right, the Minutemen. Adrienne, you were talking about how they almost have like a jazzy bent.
Right.
Yeah.
And that you've got absolute virtuosos on all three instruments.
Yeah.
And you've got it's sort of like a dignity in each instrument, where each instrument is respected. It's not like three instruments in
they're not playing over each other.
They're not playing over each other, but they each have their space, which is shocking. Where you've got like 40-second song,
right.
but there's no hurrying, there's no rushing.
Yeah.
It's very deliberate,
and you feel like you've gotten a whole song. Too.
Yes, and it's. I mean, I don't like to use the word tasteful necessarily, but I mean, it's sort of in the musician sense.
Yes.
That, everything is in its place and
economical.
Precise and nothing extra. That kind of leads to my who'd you like to hear cover it. I'd like to hear someone give it a full-on jazz treatment.
Yeah.
Maybe, Esperanza Spalding or somebody somebody who really sort of, plays up on the jazz bones that I think are already there. I don't think you have to find them. I think they're there.
The band I'd like to hear doing Minutemen songs would obviously be the Parquet Courts, who kind of stole a little bit from them already. Kind of that barking vocal thing. I'm sure they could kill a few Minutemen songs. Paranoid Time is a record of its time, of 1980, and it's still great music. One of our faves. It's just an amazing band, the Minutemen. If you don't know a lot about them, you should try to check them out.
And who did they become later on after?
After
Boone's death?
Boone died, they got Ed from Ohio, and they became Firehose, who were actually pretty popular. We had the pleasure of booking them. Yeah, they're nice guys, and
we had them. I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, I mean it was good.
We booked them.
Yeah. My recommendation this week is for if you don't know a lot about the Minutemen or you want to know more, there is a documentary that was done a while back. It's called We Jamicano, and it has Mike Watt kind of explaining the whole history of the band. He's sitting in the white van, the tour van, and rolling around San Pedro talking about what they did, and there's a lot of great old footage of them playing, and it's a very well done. I remember watching it, and when it was done, I was like, "Oh, I want to play. I want to start another band." It's that inspiring. Because they were poor kids in kind of a poor section of Southern California, and they played at Boone's house. His mom was like, "You guys have a band, and you come and practice every day, and then I know you're not getting in trouble." It was like that, and that's what they did. They would play like 6 hours a day, and you can tell by the time they started making records, they escaped, gangs or trouble or drugs or whatever by playing music, and his mom was totally behind them. So it's a great little story. I would definitely check that out. Do you have a recommendation?
I'm thinking of jazz, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone goes back to sort of the. For me, one of the starting points was my dad's copy of Take 5.
Yes.
Dave Brubeck. And so if you haven't listened to it, you need to listen to it, because I think it's referenced in a lot of
fantastic record.
Subsequent music. And what a great recording on its own.
Yes, and just fun to listen to. So there you go. From the Minutemen to Dave Brubeck in one quick move. How do we do it? How do we do it?
I think they're cousins. I think you'll see that there's a family resemblance.
So this has been Singles Going Steady number 020, the Minutemen, Paranoid Time. And it's been great talking with you again. And we will see you next time.
Yes, see you.
Bye now.
To learn more about the artists and recordings we just talked about, visit our website at zubrecords.com and click on the Singles Going Steady icon.
You'll also find links to the persons, places, and things we recommend, and much more.
You can find episodes of Singles Going Steady on our website or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Singles Going Steady is brought to you by the power and majesty of Zub Records.
Zub Records. Smart sounds for sharp people.